because the modes they generally decide the destination actually. Uddham Krishna says Uddham Gachanti Satvasta, Madhya Tishnati Rajasa, Jaganya Guna Vrittista, Adho Gachanti Tamasa. Those who are in Sattvagun, they elevate. Those who are in Rajogun, they stay in the middle planetary system. Those who are in Tamagun, they go down. So he's asking, and then Krishna starts telling about the four things: sacrifice, charity, and then tapasya and food. These four activity in different modes he discusses and he tells. And then now, towards the end of the 17th chapter, he will tell that although these difficulties are there, if you just chant Om Tat Sat while doing all these things, then you can head towards liberation. First thing, and second thing, you can get yourself freed from the karmic reactions that are coming due to the associated modes by chanting Om Tat Sat. So he'll be in the 5 verses. He'll be describing about the glory of Om Tat Sat. So we'll just recite that and then discuss a little bit and go ahead to 18th chapter. This was done 17.23. We had completed no Guru 17.20. Which place we had left off last time? I'm forgetting.
I think only 13th verse we had completed. 17.13.
17.13.
Yes,
See?
Guruji.
Okay. Lots of things are there to cover. I thought today I'll enter into 18th chapter. Okay, we'll start 18th chapter tomorrow. Okay. Here I think we are left. So now he has discussed about charity in 3 modes and sacrifice in 3 modes, food in 3 modes. Then now he will be telling about austerity. So before telling austerity in 3 modes, he will tell about austerity of body, austerity of mind, and austerity of speech. So now he is telling about austerity of body. You all can recite. Deva Dvija Guru Pragyam
Devadvija Guru Pradnya
Pujanam Sauchamarjavam
Pujanam Shauchamarjavam
Brahmacharyam Ahimsa Cha
Brahmacharyam Ahimsa Cha
Shariram Tapa Uchyate
Shariram Tapa Uchyate.
Deva Dvija Guru Pragya. 4 people are worshipping. These 4 type of people includes the first aspect of austerity of body. Deva means Supreme Lord, or here it is, you can say Deva means demigod. Dvija means the Brahmanas, Guru means the spiritual master, and Pragya means a learned person. These 4 offering obeisance to them considers the body austerity of body, because कभी कभी झुक के उनको प्रणाम करना पड़ता है, लगता है प्रणाम करूँ नहीं करूँ, या खाली मुंह पे हरे कृष्णा बोल दूं, या फिर हाथ जोड़ दो बस, या फिर खाली बोल दूं अच्छा. But if you go down and offer obeisances, touch head, it includes little inconvenience on body platform. That's why it is considered austerity of body. And so shaucham means cleanliness. Taking bath. Every day taking bath. Not occasionally taking bath. So every day. It's called nitya karma. Right? You might have read in the 3rd chapter 6 type of karma. Nitya karma, kamya karma, vihita karma, nisiddha karma, and prayashchita karma. These 6 type of karma. Karma means basically on body platform only, no doubt. And Krishna talks about these things. So nitya karma, so taking bath is comes under nitya karma. Those things which nitya karma are those things which you don't do, you will get reaction. But if you do, you will not get much benefit. Like snan karna, ab snan kar liye, so you will remain just fresh. You will just get sattva. But that doesn't mean by taking bath you will get a very great punya. You will not get some. But nitya karma means that you are supposed to do. If you don't do, you will get sinful reaction. Similarly, this Sandhya, Sandhya Vandanam, all this comes under Nitya Karma. Then Naimitika Karma. Naimitika Karma are those karma. If you don't do, there is nothing much reaction. But if you do, you'll get material benefit. Naimitika Karma like this samskar, sodasa, dasavida samskar, and all that. That's you'll get material benefit. Marriage comes under Naimitika Karma. If you do, you'll get wife, children, family, material happiness. That's Naimitika Karma. Similarly, Nishiddha Karma. If you don't do, you are safe. If you do, you will get sinful reaction. That is Nishiddha Karma. So Nitya Karma, Naimitika Karma, Nishiddha Karma, then Prayashchita Karma. This karma you have to do when you do any Nishiddha Karma, you have to do Prayashchita Karma. So that's Prayashchita Karma. So Nitya Karma, Naimitika Karma, Siddha Karma, Prayashchita Karma, Kamya Karma. Kamya Karma, if you don't do, not much problem. But if you do, you will get both type of like good or bad, punya or pap, depends upon the intensity and the regulation and all these things. Kamya Karma. Somebody has a desire, he wants a marriage. So don't do, not much problem. But if you do, if your wife is good, spouse is good, then you get material benefit. If she is not good, then there is a lot of fight, heartburning. So it can have both plus minus result. Kamya Karma. And Kamya Karmas are those generally, if it is increased, one enters into sinful. Nishiddha Karma. Kamya Karma might get transformed to Nishiddha Karma also. So that's Kamya Karma. And then last is Vihita Karma. Karmas which are done without expecting any fruit, or otherwise called as Niskinchan Karma. Karma, intending towards liberation. Like that, which Krishna talks about that in 3rd chapter. Bhagavad Gita. So like that, this karma. So Saucham comes under which karma? Hare Krishna. You all are listening? Or?
Nitya karma. Nitya.
Hare Krishna.
Nitya karma.
Bro, my sound is clear. You all are hearing or I'm there or not?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Yeah, because
we
I'm
are
in
able to hear.
Vrindavan. I'm in Vrindavan and the network is little poor here.
No, Prabhuji, it was clear till now.
Fine. And then Arjavam. Arjavam means simplicity. Prabhupada says, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, simplicity is Vaishnavism. Simple. It says, one should be so simple that one should not have like acting what one thinks, and acting not, it's like not saying one thing and thinking one thing, meaning one thing. That's not simplicity. That is duplicity. And brahmacharya. Brahmacharya means restraining one's sensual activities. Brahmacharya. So there are two types of brahmachari. Grihastha brahmachari and brahmachari brahmachari. Prabhupada says in one lecture, Ek Nari brahmachari. Any grihastha who gets married to only one wife, he is also considered to be brahmachari. Ek Nari brahmachari, Prabhupada says. And ahimsa. Ahimsa means non-violence. Not progressing, Prabhupada gives the definition, not stopping anybody's progressive march in the evolution cycle. So that is Hariranta Pochyate. So you can please read the translation.
Sumit Kumar Prabhu.
Austerity of the body consists in worship of the Supreme Lord, the Brahmanas, the spiritual masters and superiors like the father and mother, and in cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence. Whenever cleanliness on bodily platform would come, Prabhupada would say internal and external.
External cleanliness is enhanced by taking bath, wearing fresh clothes, and internal cleanliness can be enhanced by chanting Hare Krishna. Okay, this is Anudvega Karam Vakyam
Anudvegakaram vakyam
Satyam Priyahitam Chaya
satyam priyahitam chayat
Swadhyaya Swadhyaya Abhyasanam Chaiva
swadhyayabhyasanam chaiva
Vangmayam Tapochyate.
vangmayam tapa uchyate.
Anudvega Karam Vakyam. Udvega. Vega matlab impulse. So Udvega means internal impulse, internal agitation. That is called Udvega. Anudvega means not agitating internally. So Udvega Kar Vakya. कर वर्ड मतलब अगर कहीं कर लगा देते हैं इसका मतलब हित कर लगा देते हैं तो दैट एक्टिविटी व्हिच इज हैज अ पोटेंसी ऑफ डूइंग समथिंग इज कॉल्ड हितकर मतलब दैट एक्टिविटी व्हिच हैज अ पोटेंसी टू डू हित हानिकारक मतलब दैट व्हिच हैज अ पोटेंसी टू हार्म सो उद्वेग कर मतलब दैट व्हिच हैज अ पोटेंसी टू क्रिएट एजिटेशन एंड अनुद्वेग कर मतलब दैट which is free from the potency to agitate others. That's the one of the aspect of austerity of speech. अनुद्वेग कर वाक्य ऐसा बोलना चाहिए. वाक्य कैसा होना चाहिए? अनुद्वेग कर. We should not speak in order to agitate others. So enemy they speak like before the war they speak. You know the like Hiranyaksha when he met Lord Varahadev he started speaking. You are an animal. Like that, he was trying to lalkar raha. He was trying to create agitation. So then Lord was telling the heroes don't speak; they only fight. Like that, that is similarly we in day-to-day life we should not speak in order to agitate others' mind. Sometimes we take pleasure. We speak in the parliament. They speak like that. All the udvekar speeches are spoken in the parliament. That's why they have opposition, and you speak very strong, agitate. And there is like verbal fight and argument. So that's not a proper speech. So anudvega karam vakyam satyam. The speech should be always truthful. That is the second aspect of speech. First, it should be unagitating. Second, it should be truthful. And priya means it should be sweet. It should be very endearing. Very speech like Krishna speech like Megha Gambhiraya Vacha. When you speak, it's a priya. Priya means you speak sweetly. And hitam means it should be beneficial. You speak so as to benefit others. So these are the four aspects of speech. Like that Krishna says. But to have all four in place is very difficult. Very difficult. Like when Vidura came to this Dhritarashtra, so he spoke, what you are doing? You are like a dog, watchdog in the house of Pandavas. So leave, like that he says, Sigram, leave this place. And you are Bhima Upaparjita Pindam. You are just eating the food remnants given by Bhima, especially says, because Bhima is the one person who killed all the 100 sons of Pandava. All 100, not even 99. All 100 were killed by him. So Vidura speaks very harsh, although he speaks truth. But he is not speaking here. He is speaking the but beneficial, but not speaking palatable. Not very speaking harsh. So to put all four of them together is very difficult. Very difficult. So which one do you feel is the most important? Which has to be there? Of course, I spoke. I already hinted it. But out of the whole four, which one is first, most important? And then second, third, fourth. Which is the most important aspect out of these four? You understood the question? Hare Krishna. My question is clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Yeah. So which is the most important? Sometime it can be truth, but it is not beneficial. Can you give some example? You're speaking the truth, but it is not beneficial. Anybody? Yeah, Shantanu Prabhu. You're speaking the truth, but it is not beneficial.
Prabhuji, like during preaching, suppose if we tell on the first day itself to the student that we have to follow four regulative principles and all those things,
Very good.
very
Very
big
good. Very
things we
good. Yes,
tell, it's
yes.
truth, but it will throw that student away from preaching.
Yes, that time. Or sometime we have a seminar called dealing with PFR, parents, friends, and relatives. So we tell them that you don't tell the truth to the parents right now. So sometime, yeah, correct. And mundane things, the mundane news. आज इसके घर में आग लग गया, कल इसका ये हो गया, कल उसका वो हो गया, एक हीरो ने इस हीरोइन से शादी किया, इस हीरो ने इनको डाइवर्स किया, ये सब ट्रूथ है, but it is useless actually. The mundane news. So yeah. So out of the four, which is most important? Which aspect has to be there?
अनुद्वेगकरं वाक्यं.
Anudvegakaram vakya. But Vidura, when he spoke with Dhritarashtra, it was creating so much udveg in the heart of Dhritarashtra. The very same day he left. Yes, Asim Prabhu has raised his hand.
It should be beneficial.
Yes, Arjun Sarthi Prabhu also has replied Hitam. Correct. The most important out of all this, it should be beneficial. Yes. Okay, the next is called Swadhyaya Abhyasanam Chaiva. Swadhyaya means self-study, means study of the Vedic literature. This is also considered to be the austerity of speech, not austerity of body or mind. Swadhyaya. It is austerity of speech. See how it is linked. Krishna is reading the Vedic literature, scriptures or Prabhupada books, that is Swadhyaya, is considered austerity of speech. Because when you study, it will immediately you will speak it. You will see that. You just read something, you read a newspaper article very nicely with focus and concentration for half an hour. Within 6 hours, you will speak about that to someone. You will see that. You just study it very focusedly with attention, and so that your heart gets little touched. That's the meaning of Swadhyaya. When you do that, the dhi word comes. Na? Dhi is there. Swadhi. Dhi means what? When you read something, it should touch your heart. So, buddhi. You read that, you will see that immediately you will speak. Within 6 hours, you will speak. I have personal experience. When you study something, not just superficially, outwardly, something that touches your intelligence. Sometimes you just read, regularly, routine, mechanical. That's not that kind of reading. You'll see that within 6 hours you will speak to someone, unless you go to sleep immediately. Okay, please read the translation.
Soumya Saurabh Prabhu.
Hey, don't go. He will go. Attack karega. Sorry. Here the monkey has come. So please read.
Shrikar Prabhu.
Translation: austerity of speech consists in speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others, and also in regularly reciting Vedic literatures.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, here please read the purport. Purport is amazing purport.
One should not speak in such a way as to agitate the minds of others. Of course, when a teacher speaks, he can speak the truth for the instruction of his student. But such teacher should not speak to those who are not his student if he will agitate their minds. This penance, as far as talking is concerned. Besides that, one should not talk nonsense. The process of speaking in spiritual circle is to say something upheld by the scriptures. One
It
should
is
not.
very important. Whenever we preach something, Prabhupada says, the process of speaking in spiritual circles, in the assembly of devotees, or while preaching, we have to speak something always which we have read in Prabhupada's books, or which is paraphrased of a sloka from Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Should be always. Not that we speak something and then just because whatever we feel, not like that. Our speak has to be always, it has to, which we have read or learned in the Prabhupada books. Then you will see that we'll be growing in spiritual life. There will be no confusion. Otherwise, very easily we might fall into confusion or create confusion. Like recently, I was reading one article written by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, or I think many of you might have read. So Maharaj was telling that, I heard this statement in my third year, that is in 2010. So there this devotees were telling that Srila Prabhupada gave Mayapur to His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj and told, I'm giving you the kingdom of God, take it, develop it and enjoy it. Like that. So I was thinking Prabhupada did really spoke like that. But just recently Maharaj clarifies this. Maharaj says, Prabhupada gave me this, told that this is Mayapur, I'm giving you the kingdom of God, take it and develop it. He never said enjoy it. Just imagine, one statement which we speak and it spreads around the whole community within ISKCON. And the first time heard, I was very confused how it can be enjoy. How can you enjoy the dham actually? You come to dham to serve. And how Prabhupada would say like this. So you can clearly see how. Okay, please read at the same time such talk.
At the same time, such talk should be very pleasurable to hear. By such discussion, one may derive the highest benefit and elevate human society. There is limitless talk of Vedic literature, and one should study this. This is
There is
called
limitless.
penance of speech.
There is limitless which we have. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Mangal, Chaitanya Charitamrita, so much is there. So much of script, so much of Vaishnava songs, Mahabharata, Ramayana. Then there is Srimad Bhagavatam, there are other Puranas. Puranas in Saktoguni, especially Padma Puran, Garud Puran. So all these things are very vital actually. Then there is Bhagavad Gita, so much literature actually. There is no end to it. Prabhupada books, Prabhupada disciples have written so much. Sivaram Maharaj. So there is so much of. Then Krishna talks about austerity of mind. Very important. Manaha prasada saumyatvam
Manah prasada saumyatvam
maunamatma vinigraha
maunamatma vinigrahah
bhava samsuddhiriyati
avasam shuddhirityetat
tapo manasamuchyate.
tapo manasamuchyate.
Mana prasada saumyatvam. Then the austerity of mind comes. Now, Raisam Prabhu says 5S here. 5S. Mana prasada means satisfaction. Mauna means silence. Atma vinigraha means self-control. Bhava samsuddhi means sanctification of one's existence. These 5 are considered to be. And saumyatvam is, mana prasada means satisfaction. Saumyatvam means, he says saumyatvam means simplicity, I think. Saumyatvam, what is Prabhupada translates? Saumyatvam is simplicity, without any simplicity. 5S are considered here to be the austerity of mind. Mana prasada means satisfaction. Saumyatvam is simplicity. Maunam is silence. Atma vinigraha is self-control. And bhava samsuddhi means sanctification of one's existence. Bhava. Bhava means, already I had told you many meanings of bhava. Because bhava word comes many times in Bhagavad Gita. So here the bhava means existence, one existence. So please read the translation.
Sumukha Vishnu Prabhu.
Translation. And satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control, and purification of one's existence are austerities of the mind.
Okay. But is very beautiful. Please read the
Purport. To make the mind austere is to detach it from sense gratification. It should be trained. It should be so trained that it can be always thinking of doing good for others. The
very
best
important
training for the
statement.
mind.
The mind should be so trained that it should be always thinking how to do good to others. Very beautiful statement. Right? The mind should be always thinking. How Prabhupada would always think, how can I go to America? How can I go to America and reach there? To expand the preaching for so that good means what? Ultimate good is to give Krishna consciousness. That's the meaning of good, not by giving this two roti sabji or some khichdi, something to eat or something to wear. That's not because prasad is different, but I'm telling just giving some mundane, that's useless actually. That's useless. But actual good is to give them Krishna conscious knowledge. Giving them the wisdom of Krishna consciousness is called ultimate good. So one should be always thinking, how can I give this to others? Devotees, they think a lot actually. In the office, they give something to some prasad or some books to their colleagues. While traveling in the train, metros, devotees give out. Always, somehow or other, they even a person is not willing to listen, but somehow or other they create sukruti for them. So the best training for the mind is gravity in thought. It always grave. Prabhupada would see so grave, as grave like a Pacific Ocean. Prabhupada would be so grave sometimes. You see some of the Prabhupada's photos, face would be so grave, so intense. So that's because the mind is hooked into Krishna. That's why the gravity is coming. The mind is fickle, contemplating on sense gratification, then it will be jumping like monkey. That's the reason mind is compared to the monkey. You have seen monkey always jumping from one branch to another for no good reason. So my mind is like that, jumping from one branch thought to another branch of thought. That's why the studies of they call branch. What is the branch of your study? That's why they call branch. Because your mind is like the monkey who jumps from one branch of stream, one stream of study to another stream of study. So, okay. Please read. One should not deviate from Krishna consciousness.
One should not deviate from Krishna consciousness and must always avoid sense gratification. To purify one's nature is to become Krishna conscious. Satisfaction of the mind can be obtained only by taking the mind away from the thoughts of sense gratification.
The biggest enemy, Krishna says, is the thought of sense gratification. The mind's biggest enemy is the thought of sense gratification. So as we progress ahead in Krishna consciousness, our mind should be very easily, we should be able to draw the mind from thoughts of sense gratification. Aniswere neswaram ashubham datte swe mahim nistitasya cha. One should always know that the thought of sense gratification will eventually, sooner or later, will lead to frustration, dissatisfaction, and anxiety. And there is not much, although in the beginning it will appear very attractive, promising, lucrative in the beginning. But one should know that the end is very, very painful, troublesome, it will lead to trouble. So that's why one should very easily should be able to pull out. That's what is the sadhaka's job actually. Our goal of practicing Krishna consciousness is this only, that we should be naturally able to draw the mind from thoughts of sense gratification. Yeah, please read.
The more we think of sense enjoyment, the more the mind becomes dissatisfied. In the present age, we unnecessarily engage the mind in so many different ways for sense gratification. and so there is no possibility of minds becoming satisfied.
Because once,
The
as soon
best
as you think about sense gratification, there will be anxiety whether I'll get or not, or then there will be competitor. So nobody should encroach. And how long will I be able to enjoy? The time constraint will also come. And a lot of unpredictable situation also might appear during the course of cycle. That's why a lot of factors are there. The mind will be always agitated. That's why Krishna says, Apuryamanam achala pratishtam samudram apo pravisanti advat tadvat kamayam pravisanti sarve sasanti mapnati na kamaka. So that's the meaning. Yeah, please do that.
the best course is to divert the mind to the Vedic literatures, which is full of satisfying stories, as in the Puranas and the Mahabharata. One can take advantage of this knowledge and thus become purified. The mind should be devoid of duplicity, and one should think of the welfare of all. Silence means that one is always thinking of self-realization. The person in Krishna consciousness observes perfect silence in this sense. Control of the mind means detaching the mind from sense enjoyment. One should be straightforward in his dealings and thereby purify his existence. All these qualities together constitute austerity in mental activities.
And now Krishna will add that Shraddha is very much necessary in all this activity you do. Austerity, in the yajna and in the dana, you need faith. Otherwise, you will not get any fruit. Yeah, please deal this sensation.
Vishnu Prabhu.
This threefold austerity performed with transcendental faith by men not expecting material benefits but engaged only for the sake of the Supreme is called austerity in goodness.
Austerity in goodness. Then austerity, yeah. Yeah, read translation. Austerity in Rajagam.
Penance performed out of pride and for the sake of gaining respect, honor, and worship is said to be in the mode of passion. It is neither stable nor permanent.
That is austerity of Rajoguni austerity. For the sake of personal honor and worship. Dambhena, Dambho word has come here. Dambhena Chaitanya. Yeah. Austerity of all the demons considered in austerity of ignorance. Yeah, please read. Hare Krishna.
Vishnu Prabhu can continue.
Is penance performed out of foolishness with self-torture or to destroy or injure others is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Perfect.
Fine. Now the austerity of charity, Saptaguni austerity. Dattavyam iti yaddan. Dattavyam, what is the meaning of it? Dattavyam. Kartavyam means karna chahiye. Dattavyam means dena chahiye. Duty. As soon as you do on the platform of duty, that becomes Saptaguni. There is, and as soon as you do in the platform of desire, that becomes Rajoguni. And as soon as you do out of fear, out of helplessness, out of sleepy, drowsy, ignorance, that's ignorance. And Dattavyam means Sattogam. Dattavyam etidam diyate anupakarine, does not expecting any personal benefit. And desa kala chapatra. This is very important. Very important. Not that just give anything. Last last time I think we were reading Prabhupada says, if you give charity to anybody and everybody, you will get the same benefit return in the next life. But if you give to Brahmana, you will get it return 1,000 times. If you give to a Brahmana who knows the meaning of the yajnas and can perform yajna, that kind of Brahmana, then you will get lakh times. And if you give to a Vaishnava, you will get spiritual benefit. Go back to God. Like that, the Prabhupada says about, I think in the purport, this purport or somewhere Prabhupada says, fix. So this Kala and Patra, very important. You just, not that, indefinitely you give anybody everybody. Sometimes beggars come and, people say, अरे तुम साधु हो, पैसा नहीं दे रहे हो इसको, हम पैसा देंगे तो वो लेके दारू पी लेगा, तो उसको हम पैसा नहीं देना चाहिए, तो खाने को दे सकते हैं, प्रसाद दे सकते हैं, कुछ कपड़ा वपड़ा है तो दे सकते हैं, लेकिन ये नहीं देना चाहिए. तो वी हैव टू नो हु वी आर गिविंग. पीपल गुप्त दान करते हैं, वृंदावन में भी गुप्त दान, तो गुप्त दान भी दैट इज आल्सो यूजलेस एक्चुअली, because of course you go to temple, give to Krishna temple and there you give gupta dan, that is good. Krishna will definitely take note of it. But to give someone, we have to see whom we are giving. Generally charities, there are charity receivers actually. Not that anybody and everybody can say that I can receive charity. No. Only the Brahmanas can receive charity. And Kshatriyas, they receive tax. And Vaishya, there is no question of giving and receiving charity. And Shudras, they can be given remuneration or some salary. Because that's for salary for them. Yeah. Please read.
Devi Prasad Prabhu.
Charity given out of duty, without expectation of return, at the proper time and place, and to worthy person is considered to be in the mode of goodness.
Prabhupada says that one should give charity to Vaishnavas in the Krishna temple. There a lot can be said about the benefit of giving charity to Krishna devotee actually. As soon as one gives, see, as such, giving charity is a Sattva-guni activity. And it is good actually. But if charity is given to different categories coming, charity in mode of goodness, charity is mode of ignorance and passion. So giving charity to Krishna's devotee is very, very beneficial. That's why especially the charity is a dharma of Grihasthas. Grihasthas should make sure that they are giving some part of their income to their guru, the Krishna temple, definitely for sure. Without giving any charity, a Grihastha will not make any progress in Krishna consciousness. He has to give because he's earning money. So he has to give. Okay. Fine. Prabhupada speaks about charity to the poor, sometimes given out of compassion, but a poor man is not worth giving charity, then there is no spiritual advancement, and sometimes there can be detrimental effect also, negative effect. If he does some sinful activity, we will get the reactions of it. Yeah, please read this translation.
Devi Prasad, you can continue.
But charity performed with the expectation of some return, or with a desire for fructive results, or in a grudging mood, is said to be charity in the mode of passion.
Yeah, I can read this.
There are many charitable foundations which offer their gifts to institutions where sense gratification goes on. Such charities are not recommended in the Vedic scriptures. Only charity in the mode of goodness is recommended.
In India, I was seeing there are many charitable institutions actually. Many people have funded where it is very, very deadly to give charity in those places. Very, very deadly. In the name of charity, they do so many things. Only I would feel that Srila Prabhupada's mission is the only charitable institution right now. Otherwise, all other way, and few with some, maybe some Gaudiya Maths and some devotees might be there. Otherwise, anywhere the charity is actually Rajaguni charity or Tamaguni charity. Fine. Yeah, please read this translation.
And charity performed at an impure place, at an improper time, and to unworthy person, or without proper attention and respect, is said to be in the mode of ignorance.
So now you understood that even Sattoguni activities like charity, sacrifice, and tapasya, all these are Sattoguni activity, right? They're Sattoguni activities, but they can be also Rajaguni, Tamaguni, depending upon Pesa, Kala, and all these things. So there is, and even Sattoguni, even Sattoguni, that is also binding. So all three are binding in one sense. So how to get liberated? That's Krishna is talking about the next 5 verses. We'll recite this. Om Tat Sat Iti Nirdesho
Om Tat Sat iti nirdesho
Brahmanas Smritaha
Brahmanastrividha smritah
Brahmanastena Vedascha
Brahmanastena vedascha
Yajñascha Vihita Pura.
yajñascha vihitah pura.
So all the yajnas which are considered to be the Vihita Karma, if you chant Om Tat Sat. In the Vedas, the seed mantra is Om. Anywhere you see, if the Om comes, you understand it is a Vedic mantra. Om. And the Om word comes like Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pasyanti Surayah Diviva Chaksu Atatam Tad Vipraso Vipanneva Jagruvasam Sasamindante Vishnu Yat Paramam Padam. So the Om word comes. This mantra which I told you is Rig Ved mantra. So in the Veda mantras which come means Om will. That's why Krishna says Pranavaha Sarva Vedesu. In the Vedas, one thing is very permitting sound, that is Om. So, and whose name it is? It is the name of the Supreme Lord. Om means as soon as you call it Om means it is Supreme Lord, Lord's absolute truth. And then these 3 words, Om, Tat, and Sat, indicate the Supreme Lord. Even if you just word Tat, that is also Supreme Lord. And the word Sat, that is also Supreme Lord. All 3 are Supreme Lord. So and together they represent the Supreme Lord. So many places, Prabhupada in the Nectar of Devotion or Nectar of Instruction preface, after writing, he writes Om Tat Sat. Or who says Jayapataka Maharaj also after prayer Om Jnanati Mirandasya and then Manchakalpataruvesya Jai Sri Krishna Hare Krishna, then Maharaj will say Om Tat Sat. So when you chant, do any spiritual activity and chant Om Tat Sat, it's considered to be complete and perfect. And all the associated anomalies are being taken care of by chanting Om Tat Sat. Yeah, please do it.
Akshay Prabhu.
Translation. From the beginning of the creation, the 3 words Om Tat Sat were used to indicate the Supreme Absolute Truth. These 3 symbolic representations were used by Brahmanas while chanting the hymns of the Vedas and during sacrifices for the satisfaction of the Supreme.
Om Tat Sat Iti Nirdesho, like that. Okay. Yeah, Prabhupada gives an introduction here. Yeah, please read.
It has been explained that penance, sacrifice, charity, and foods are divided into three categories: the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. But whether first class, second class, or a third class, they are all conditioned, contaminated by the material modes of nature. When they are aimed at Supreme, Om Tat Sat, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Eternal, they become means for spiritual elevation.
So basically, Om Tat Sat people chant with a desire for liberation actually. Basically, that's why we don't chant. Not that we chant 16 round Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Sat. There are people they chant because they want get liberation. Liberation is never our goal. Definitely. Prabhupada says in the Vedic mantras, Om is always found. Any mantra which is Vedic mantra, Om has to be there. Then without Om, like you chant something and you call Om, that means it is Satyam. Shukracharya, when he says Bali Chakravarti, that this Vaman is Lord Vishnu himself, he has come to take away your everything. So you'll ask for charity. You give everything, don't promise to give land. So he says, I have already given that. He says, no, you have not chanted Om no, till now. So it's not a problem. You can go back in your promise. Don't give anything like that, he says. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, please read. Someone.
The three words Om Tat Sat are uttered in conjunction with the holy name of the Supreme Lord. Example, Om Tad Vishnoho. Whenever a Vedic hymn or the holy name of the Supreme Lord is uttered, Om is added. This is the indication of the Vedic literature.
Then
These three words are taken from Vedic hymns. Om iti etat brahmano nedistan nama. Rigveda indicates the first goal. Then tatat tattvam asi. Chandogya Upanishad 6.8.7 indicates the second goal. And the Sad Eva Saumya Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.1 indicates the third goal. Combined, they become Om Tat Sat. Formerly, when Brahma, the first created living entity, performed sacrifices, he indicated by these three words the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
he says
Therefore,
Brahma himself chanted this. The first one to utter this Om Tat Sat is Lord Brahma himself. He chanted in the beginning Om Tat Sat. There are some spiritualists also. In Raurkela, I go to preach. So in Vedavyas, there is a place, Vedavyas, there is Mayavadi sannyasi. So we had met him. So when I offered him obeisance and told Hare Krishna, he told Hari Om Tat Sat. Like that he said. So he said Om Tat Sat. Yeah. Therefore, the same principles have always been followed by all disciplic succession, and everybody does the same thing by chanting Om Tat Sat. So yeah, please show this hymn.
so this hymn has great significance. Bhagavad Gita recommends, therefore, that any work done should be done for Om Tat Sat or for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When one performs penance, charity, and sacrifice with these three words, he is acting in Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is a scientific execution of transcendental activities which enables one to return home back to Godhead.
Because
There
the
is a
purpose here, Krishna is telling that because this Jnana Yoga section, he knows these activities. So he's giving a liberation, the ultimate goal to be liberation for them. And they can chant Om Tat Sat to free themselves from. Now Krishna will describe all these three, Om, Tat, and Sat, in one shloka each, one or two shloka. So he will describe. Now he start talking about Om. Tasmad Omiti Udaharitya
तस्मादोमित्युदाहृत्य
Yajnadana Tapa Kriya
यज्ञदानतपक्रियाः
Pravartante Vidhanokta
प्रवर्तन्ते विधानोक्ताः
Tadatam Brahmavadinam
सततं ब्रह्मवादिनां
All the Brahmavadis, they always chant Om before doing any yajna, dana, tapa. Brahmavadi, those who are Brahman aspiring liberation, they always chant Om. Yeah.
Aman Prabhu.
Yes, sir. Translation. Therefore, transcendentalists undertaking performances of sacrifice, charity, and penance in accordance with scriptural regulations begin always with Om to attain the Supreme. But Om,
Now he talked about Tat. This he told one sloka about Om. Well, the Om Tatsa together they represent Supreme, and individually also these three words represent Supreme. Not that individually they're incomplete with each other. No, they also represent Supreme Lord. So now Tat is telling. Taditi anabhisandhyaya
Yadit anabhisandhyaya
yajnatapakriya
phalam yajnatapakriyaः
ज्ञानक्रियाश्च विविधा
दानक्रियाश्च विविधाः
यन्ते मोक्षकांक्षिभिः.
क्रियन्ते मोक्षकाङ्क्षिभिः.
Tat, I already told you, moksha those who are aspiring for liberation, they will be chanting what? Tat. Tatiti. Tat. And there is famous verse also, Tat Tvamasi. You are that. Tat Tvamasi. Tat means the Supreme Lord. Anywhere that word Tat will come anywhere, you understand. Tat. That's why Tatpar. Tatpar also means a devoted sadhu. तत्पर the खाली तत्पर का जो मीनिंग होता है तत्पर, नारायण पर represents dedicated. Tat means Supreme Lord. So we had one Maharaj in his called Tatpar Maharaj. So Tat represents the Supreme Lord. And Tatam means Tatam means one who is spread everywhere. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyaktam murtina natsani sarvabhutani achahante swasthita. Krishna says, so Tat means spread also. That which is all pervading. That's the meaning of Tat. Yeah, please read.
Nadan Prabhu.
Without desiring fruitive results, one should perform various kinds of sacrifice, penance, and charity with the word Tat. The purpose of such transcendental activities is to get free from material entanglement.
Okay. Now he will tell about Sat. So Om, Tat, and now Sat. Sadbhave, sadhubhave cha,
तद्भावे साधुभावे च
यदिति एतत् परियुज्यते,
तदिते तत् प्रयुज्यते
सस्ते कर्मणि तथा,
प्रशस्ते कर्मणि तथा
सत्शब्द पार्थ उच्यते.
सत्शब्दपार्थ उच्यते.
So Sat as such the word meaning also Supreme Lord. Sat. Satam. Satam means devotee. Sat means Supreme Lord. And Satam means devotee. Sat, Satam, and then Satwat. Satwat means pure devotee. And Krishna is called Satampati. Satam means devotee. So Sat means Supreme Lord. So it's telling Sad word, Sat se fir sadhu banta hai, sadhu. That which comes out from Sat, or that which is dedicated for Sat, is called sadhu. Sadbhave, sadhu bhave. And any activity which is performed for the Supreme Lord is also called Sat. Sat, Asat. Then he'll talk about Asat. That is the last sloka. What is Asat? That he will tell. But which is performed for the Supreme Lord, that's called Sat. So Sadbhave, Sadhubhave, Saditi Pariyajate. Sat. Now we tell Yajna tapasi dane cha sthiti saditi uchuchyate karma chaiva tadarthyam saditi vavidu. So all these activity, if it is performed for the Supreme Lord, yajna, tapasya, dan, they are called sat. And any activity, even not yajna, tapasya, dan, if it is performed for the Supreme Lord, that is also called sat. Our preaching work, people don't think it is yajna or dan, but that is sat. That is not asat. That is sat. Prabhupada used to go to, this federal bank for having monetary transaction. So one may not say it is any spiritual activity, but it is sat. That's what is clarified here in this one. Please read translation.
Arjun Sarthi Guruji.
The absolute truth is the objective of devotional sacrifice, and it is indicated by the word Sat. The performer of such sacrifice is also called Sat, as are all works of sacrifice, penance, and charity, which, true to the absolute nature, are performed to please the Supreme Person, or Son of Prutha.
Prasastha karma is prescribed. Prasastha karma. It is sattva. So, the activity of Krishna consciousness is called sadhana. Satam prasangat. Satam means devotee. Satampati. Krishna's one name is Satampati. Sri Yapati, Yagyapati, Prajapati, Dhiyapati, Lokapati, Dharapati. Like that, there is sloka. It is Satam. Krishna says that Krishna is Satampati. Prasidatame Bhagavan Satampati. Satam is Krishna. Yeah, Prabhupada says, when initiating a person or offering sacred thread, one vibrates the word Om Tat Sat. Similarly, all kinds of performance of yajna, the object is Supreme Lord is called Om Tat Sat. The word Tadarthyam is what the represents. Okay. Tadarthyam means intended for pleasing the Supreme Lord. Tadarthyam. Om Tat Sat. And the last sloka is basically asat. What is asat? Anything which is all this activity, if it is performed without faith, then it is called asat. Ashraddhaya hutam dattam.
Shraddhaya hutam dattam.
Tapastaptam kritam chayat.
Tapastaptam kritam chayat.
Asaditi uchyate partha.
Asadityuchyate partha.
Na cha tat pratyano iha.
Na cha tat pratyano iha.
No happiness in this or in the next. Yeah, read translation.
Ashish Prabhu.
Anything done, translation, anything done as a sacrifice, charity, or penance without fail in the Supreme.
No, without faith.
Without faith in the Supreme, O Son of Pratha, is impermanent.
Asat.
It is called Asat and is useless both in this life and the next.
Because it is useless. Sorry, Krishna says it is useless. It has no meaning. Somebody says, no, I am doing tapasya, so much yajna, this, that, but no faith, then it is useless. The best course is to work from very beginning in Krishna consciousness under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. That is the way to make everything successful. So thank you very much. We have completed this. Yeah, I can read this one. Prabhupada just gives a summary of everything. Yeah. Again, Prabhupada said the same thing. Yeah, you can read this from
Although there is a process of gradual elevation, if one, by the association of pure devotees, takes directly to Krishna consciousness, that is the best way, and that is recommended in this chapter. To achieve success in this way, one must first find the proper spiritual master and receive training under his direction.
Then one can achieve.
Then one can achieve faith in the Supreme. When that faith matures in course of time, it is called love of God. This love is the ultimate goal of the living entities.
Therefore, one should take to
And one
this-
should therefore take to Krishna consciousness directly. That is the message of 17th chapter.
This is the message Prabhupada. Krishna, of course, definitely he has given Om Tat Sat. Prabhupada is telling that this is the message of 17th chapter. That ultimate love of God is the ultimate goal of life. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki. So tomorrow we'll be starting 18th chapter, perfection of conclusion, perfection of renunciation. Very long chapter. So might take a lot of classes and a little technical in the beginning, but very interesting. Okay. Thank you very much. Any question or comment you want?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
So the meaning you told about Om Tat Sat, the meaning which you told na, about Om Tat Sat. So generally, it is used for invocation of Supreme Lord, or but this all things means even many of the impersonalists, Mayavadis, they also use Om Tat. A
Vedas,
lot,
it
they
is
use
in
a
the
lot
Vedas.
Om Tat
All the
Sat.
Vedic Brahmavadina. Yajante Brahmavadina, Prabhupada says. All the Brahmavadinas they use it.
So it is like it is only used for representing, or it is like they also chant Om Tat Sat and for chanting purpose.
No, not Om, not representation. If you just Om represents the Supreme Lord. It is not only the sound itself is supreme. Sound, it's not represent, it's not in, it's obviously you address, but the sound itself is supreme. Oh, non-different. But it is an definitely it does not include many of the attributes of the Supreme. It does not represents the feelings and the Supreme Lords. That's why it is, very Om, the Prabhupada says another place it is the impersonal aspect of the Lord. Because it does not include his dham, it does not include his the rasa. Om does not have the rasa. But it is the sound itself is supreme.
Yes, right. Thank you.
Yes, Asim Prabhu had raised hand.
So, Hare Krishna.
Yes.
So, my question is like we discussed about charities. So there are two questions. One is it depends on the source intention or the end use. For example, we discussed that there are many institutions where people are giving the charity, but that institution may not be utilizing the charity for the proper use. But there might have been a case that a person might have considered, okay, the institute has been doing good work, so they should be utilizing the law. So means source intention or end use.
Actually, it depends upon definitely for both. Because when it comes to dana, there has to be data and there has to be the benefactor, the one who received. So both has to be there. So both are needed for the activity. So it will depend upon both. That's why Krishna clearly speaks that without, he has included all these things in the shloka. That if you are not, without you are giving indiscriminately, without any consideration, you will not get. And you will get reaction to it. If the person is very unqualified, so he will get sinful reaction of it, definitely. And if the person is very highly qualified, and you give him. Whether he uses or not uses, your part is done. Because the person is very, at the point of receiving end, he is very highly qualified. So both are taken into consideration. So not that, my part is to just give. And I will not see that on the other side receiving it, who is there. It's not that like that. It is both of it.
And Roji, another question, like you said that charity is in mode of goodness, but then how it is given, then again it is in goodness, compassion, and ignorance.
Yeah.
So if some
I understood your question. The faith part also. The faith part, Krishna says, asks the faith is in what? Sattvanurupa sarvasya shraddha bhavati bharata. Faith in itself is what?
goodness.
Goodness. Similarly, charity in as such is a goodness activity actually. But it again can be categorized into modes depending upon the receiver and the faith and all this matter. Cricket, it is in itself is a Rajoguni activity, but it's a Rajoguni activity actually. Similarly, charity, like game as such comes under
Passion.
but there can be Sattoguni game, Rajoguni game, Tamoguni game.
Understood. So, Prabhuji, my question is if like we observe many person in the train, the beggar comes, some gives charity, some do not give charity. So, and while we are distributing books, so if means my question is like if can I guess that yes, this person is mode of goodness, so he may I may approach him better for giving knowledge or better.
Krishna consciousness is independent. Prabhupada says that. So Krishna consciousness does not see whether it is Tamagun, Rajagun, Sattvagun, all these factors don't have. You just take the book, give to anybody, and if the person clicks to him, if he has that Sukruti and mercy of devotees, some blessings, then he will just immediately, whichever mode. You don't have to see in Krishna consciousness. Krishna factor, that's why Prabhupada's purport goes way beyond what Krishna has spoken here. Krishna does not speak anything about Krishna. Prabhupada gives that towards the end of the last sloka. These are all gradual elevation, but somebody goes under the guidance of a spiritual master, then there is no question of modes.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Arjun Satipuru, you want to say something? Okay, fine. We'll then stop here. Like tomorrow we'll start 18th chapter.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Yes,
Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
There is
Thank
not
you very
much
much.
question from this chapter. I think this chapter was not clear or what? It was clear, no? Or just too easy enough to be.
Yes, Prabhuji. I think more factual things were there.